If you are going to be practicing breaking boards or just for self-defense, practice coming up hitting with the heel. You want to condition your heels so that you can take the impact of a board. That way, if you ever do this use as self-defense and you take impact on someone's skull, your foot's fine. Hey guys, Brent Messmer here with Technical Taekwondo. Today's video is going to be a real short video on how to develop your heel for a hook kick, whether that's a spinning hook kick, a rising heel kick, lead leg, skip, whatever it may be. When you're striking with the back of that heel, you want to have it strong enough where you don't hurt yourself if you're doing board breaking or if you have to use it against someone's head. Bouncing your back of your heel off of someone's skull is going to hurt if you don't have your heel trained and developed. So we're going to be showing you a couple basic ways you can train and develop that heel today. So let's just go ahead and get into it. The easiest way to train your heel is by sitting on the ground and doing some basic exercises to really develop that heel. So we're going to start with that. So when you are getting ready to train your heels for these different spin kicks, again, you want to work and develop the back of your heel, toughen it up so that when you hit a board, you have enough pain tolerance where you can hit it a second time if it didn't break. Or you hit it the first time and you can walk away without limping. So you want to toughen the back of your heel, and here's a couple different ways that we can do that. So number one, you're going to start off basically a leg drop on the mat. Okay? So just kind of sit on the ground, lean back, hold your foot kind of like an axe kick, and drop the heel on the mat. Notice I'm pulling my toes back. I don't have my foot relaxed. If I do that, that just hurts. Okay? I want to form this foot, toes up, and this is the same angle that I'm going to be forming that heel when I strike the bag. Okay? And I want to do 20 or 30 of these, and then I want to do a variation where I turn my foot inwards. Okay? So I'm hitting at an angle this way. Because I might not make perfect impact on that target. Okay, here's perfect impact. If I'm off a little bit, I can strengthen that too. And then I want to do a third set where I'm off to the outside. Okay, so I want to roll and hit all three of these. If you have really big calf muscles, make sure that your calf isn't hitting first and then the heel. Drive that heel into the mat. Another option, especially if I have hardwood floors and I don't have mats, is I can get a thin paddle target and lay it out and drop and work it the same way. If I'm ready to graduate to something a little bit harder, okay, then I can get an old book and I can practice dropping this down on an old book. Okay, this is going to be much firmer than the paddle, and it's going to be much firmer than the mat. Make sure it's an old book. We used to use telephone books back in the day. I couldn't find one. I haven't seen a telephone book in more than 10 years. So those telephone books, or if you can find one, is probably the best for this. Plus, if you rip up an old telephone book, nobody cares. I rip up a out-of-print heel Cho book, I wouldn't be happy. So the next phase, you can graduate to one of these rebreakable boards or something a little bit more firm. Okay. And again, hitting all three of those angles. Okay. As I come down. Now, when I go to something like this, whether it's a real board that I lay down or it's one of these rebreakable boards, there's not a lot of give. Okay, so when I can slam this down hard on the mat, I don't want to do that against something this hard. I'm going to go back to a light touch. Okay, hitting it firm, but I'm not getting carried away. I don't want to bruise my heel. I want to toughen it up over time. So hitting the different surface areas, the different densities, it's going to strengthen and develop that heel over time. When you build up your heel, you may end up with ugly feet. If having pretty feet is your concern, don't do this exercise. I'll show you a close-up of my feet here, and you can see my bone spurs that are on the back of my heels, and my bone spurs on the back of my heels really shred my shoes. So I have to buy shoes more often than most people because of my bone spurs. The point of impact when you're striking with a rising heel kick or a hook kick is the tip or the back side of the heel right here. Okay? When you're training and developing it, the inside and the outside of the heel gets developed. You want to stay off of the Achilles tendon as it comes down and connects. So you pull your toes back and you want to focus on hitting with the point of your heel here. If your foot is relaxed, that gives you too much give in your ankle, and you could possibly, when you make impact, you could do damage to your ankle. Or possibly even the Achilles. But you want to strike with the point here, which again is why we want to train the outside and the inside of that heel. So if I'm off just a little bit, this is strong. Okay. So training this way is something that takes time to develop. You're gradually going to build up that resistance, the strength on the back of your heel. As you go through and you start hitting more solid surfaces and building that up, you are going to develop ugly feet. If having pretty feet is something that is your goal, don't train this exercise for very long. The longer you train these, the stronger your foot is going to become, but it's also you're going to develop ugly feet. People who train in the martial arts, the longer they train, the uglier their feet are. If you really want to see someone's fighting ability, just check out their feet. And if they have ugly, gnarly feet, yeah, leave them alone. But that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. Again, it's a real short video, but this is how you can train and develop your heels for board breaking or self-defense where you're not going to get your foot hurt. Okay? So, and thanks you guys for watching, and until next time, God bless and keep on kicking.